Are you prepared now for the recitation? Very good. We shall commence the rising. First is Anthu. Last is Dianthu. For the tide comes at the end and leaves at the beginning. I am Disaman the ebb, who comes this way. Blessed be Saman, that washes over the shore and brings the end. Blessed be Disaman, that returns to the sea and leaves behind the beginning. A gift-bearer comes to Disaman and asks him to bear his burdens away. What token do you offer, gift-bearer? The token is received in Andra's name. Tell me of your burdens. In Andra's embrace, our burdens are lifted. The Tidebringer shows himself worthy of his charge. Your purpose here, Tidebringer, is to perform the ceremony of the rising. It is the transition of one phase of service to the next. On the level beneath us in the halls of silence, our low-tide brothers and sisters have lived for many years, sealed by their own will. It is time for them to be relieved of service, and for the high-tide brothers and sisters here to take their place. In the halls below, you will find a relic, Andra's witness, an aspergillum for dispensing holy water, but also something more. It is set into a device it operates atop a flight of steps. The device will flood the halls of silence. This is the rising. It is the will of Andra. Every monk assigned to the abbey understands and accepts this. The monks here have all served as gift-bearers. We bear away people's most painful memories, and always a part of them remains with us.
He's right about that much.
In the halls of silence, memory itself fragments until it is no more. The halls are a reprieve from a gift-bearer's burden. In the end, the halls take all memory, but the process takes a toll, as you might imagine. After many years, when the process is complete, the rising is performed, to give final peace to those who dwell there. This is your charge. It goes beyond that. It is about duty as well. The Abbey is one of Andra's most guarded secrets. Death is no guarantee our knowledge will fade safely. It is necessary that the memories of this place be washed away. We do this in Andra's service. The high tide is to replace the low, and stand vigil in the halls of silence until the next rising. When you have completed the rising, bring Andra's witness to me here. I will show you the last of what you need to know. The device it operates is a simple valve mechanism. It will be clear to you when you see it. To reach your destination, you will need to know the sign of the tide, which is kept only by the High Abbot. It's said that it is the first knowledge lost when the abbot joins the low tide in the halls of silence. Watch carefully. I trust you will perform your duty, Tidebringer.
Is that you, Edith? I thought I'd lost you. I see this man's mind, shattered, crumbling, even as we stand here.
I called for you. I wanted to search, but the blizzard lasted days. I'm so sorry. But wait. We did find you. When the thaw finally came, I saw you rigid, frozen. You cannot be Edith. No, we are in the Abbey. Gift bearers. And you must be the Tidebringer. Do I imagine this? How can that be? The Abbey does not receive visitors. I suppose it matters little. The Tidebringer will come one day, and the terrible cycle will continue. The halls of silence. They take our minds, memory by memory. It would be peaceful, we were told, like going to sleep. Look around you. We, the low tide, who have been sealed down here all these many years, do we seem at peace to you? We are lost, terrified. No one has asked me in I don't know how long. Who was I? I was the High Abbot, wasn't it? High Abbot Ferentis. That was me. Or the one before me, if not. No longer, though. I am just another brother of the low tide. I remember a woman. Was she my wife? She had curls in her hair, and she spoke softly. What became of her? I carry so many memories that I took from strangers who wanted to be rid of them. I don't know what's mine anymore. And there are so many holes, every image a blur or a void. Would that I could be free of this place, free to make new memories, to know who I am. Did we? We did. We chose it when we thought it was our duty, and that it would be peaceful. But the more we forget, the less we understand. Every day something familiar becomes strange. If I had known, I'd never have accepted my assignment to the Abbey. Nor would many, I suspect.
He made his choice when he was of sound mind. He's not himself anymore. Better to finish the ritual and release him back to the wheel.
Few of us know friend from foe anymore. I may be the only one left who can still speak for us. They are peaceful in their hearts. It is this place. It has confused and agitated them. Please forgive them. There is a relic, an aspergillum, it was called. What was it? Well, it doesn't matter. It controls the floodwaters, but also the outer floodgates. Andra's Witness! That is the name. It is down here, but I don't recall how to reach it. The High Abbot knows. If you can find out from him, you could set us free. Open the gates. We would leave in peace and finish our lives in dignity. We are all so old now. There is little damage we could do in this state.
I don't know. We had this old fella in Gilded Vale. Looked harmless, couldn't talk, but he'd bite you if you tried to steal his steak when no one was looking.
Once we are free of this place, we will be able to make memories again. The confusion and paranoia will pass. Use the door behind me. Safer that way.
This is very good.
Deceitful wretch! Grave robber! You who dig for that which you did not bury, speak! Explain yourself and be judged. You seek what is mine, what was rightfully lost. Your actions speak for themselves. The battery opened, the forge ignited. You set free souls that hid from me, that stole from me and evaded my judgment. The dwarves sealed their own fate. The Forge was meant to be forgotten. And now, here you are again, denying peace to the buried. It was never meant for mortal use. Such power, such truths lie within it. It can bring only ruin. When the Pargrunin came to the White March, they were peaceful. They shared common beliefs and purpose. Their visions for the Forge tore them apart. You have seen this for yourself. They would have destroyed themselves in the end. You need only look to the history of your own civilization for assurance. How many wars, how many fallen empires might have been averted if only their leaders could forget the objects of their ambition? I mourned the loss of the Pargrunin. Misfortune brought them here. They did not deserve to end so soon. Memories are the spirits of the past. You of all people should know their sway on the present, Watcher. Mortals measure the worth of their lives in memory. Who will remember me? How long until I am forgotten? Memory governs every thought, informs every choice. It can fuel passion, understanding, love, or it can create obsession, madness. You have seen it plague many souls in your travels. Consider the old Watcher who inherited unspeakable crimes from birth. Or the young woman who committed herself to Brackenbury for love of things she remembered she had. Or the fisherman whose life became a sentence the day he killed his sister. Or the Glonfathen boy for whom an old medallion was worth more than all the fruits of his labors. They could be free from their burdens, if only they could forget. For some, perhaps. But for many, the memory is all that remains of it. You cast your troubling memories aside when you had the opportunity, and you have found the peace you sought.
It's funny. I remember feeling bad, but I don't remember why. It's like having scars for wounds you don't remember. As long as they don't reopen one day, I can live with that.
The source of those wounds is long gone. The memory was all that could do you harm. Even when problems have run their course, memory can be the stone that sinks you into the abyss. Your past has not overwhelmed you yet. Wait. Was there something else, mortal? Do not play coy with a god, Watcher. I know you have seen his death. I feel it whenever a forgotten thing is taken from me. Abydon did not deserve to die here. This place, it was the least I could do to give his remains some privacy. The least I could do for ending his life. I called the moon down to me, Ioni brother. It was against his wishes. He would not listen to reason, would not listen to me. In his madness, he splintered the moon, but it was not enough. The greatest of the fragments still fell toward that which he would protect. In the end, he took position where it would fall, and absorbed the impact himself. That time has been forgotten now, and so his death belongs to me. Everything he was before the impact. He cannot know! He must never know! Understand, he was not always as he is now. His body was not all he left behind. He was devoted to progress and industry from the beginning. But so too was he devoted to preservation. In those times he would let nothing go. Nothing could be forgotten. His will was iron long before his body. Time has finished much of what I started. I cannot tell you that, mortal, for fear of undoing all its costly work. We agreed long ago, all of us, not to alter the course of Kith's civilization. Not directly. Not unless there were no other choice. But in this matter, there was no other choice. He understood that as well as anyone. It was for duty that he opposed it. I would have stopped it if I could, but by then it was too late. The other gods knew what had to be done, but they lacked the will to go through with it. Even gods have their attachments. To erase all knowledge of such a grand thing required unthinkable devastation. The Eastern Reach, Deadfire. Mine was the only solution. When I called down Ione Brother, they remained silent. Even Abaddon. He knew it was for the best. But he tried to stop it all the same. Perhaps deep down I knew he would. I should have expected it. I could have stopped it. You may ask. The great conundrum of a god is how close to become with your subjects. Too far and they lose hope. Too close and your own judgment fails. Civilizations are meant to ebb and flow. Allow them to persist for too long in power or knowledge, and you invite catastrophe. There was a time when we let our sympathies get the better of us. When memories were allowed to persist that should have been washed away. The other gods could not be moved to act. I did what had to be done without them. I speak of what is forgotten. I failed that day, but my purpose was achieved in the end. I will not dredge up the memory to satisfy idle curiosity. What the world casts aside, I take into my care. A thing may be forgotten, but it is never alone as long as I am here. They were lost children, abandoned, fixed on a purpose that no longer had meaning. I took them in, gave them new purpose. I did not create them, but yes, they are mine. They were his once, I won't deny it. He created them as assistants to carry out his work on Eora. But he has long been the overseer of progress in the world. Leaving things behind has always been his way. I allow him to leave his past in my care, so that it does not hold him back. I suppose we do. But then, the gods have always been able to accomplish far greater things when working together. Speak your mind. Some things that are forgotten must never be remembered. Not merely for the benefit of those who forgot, but for the entire world. There can be no second thoughts, no sympathy or stays of execution. The eyeless were born to fulfill this task, though even their creator did not know it. They are single-minded and relentless. They do not flinch when called upon to do what is necessary. Kith owe them a great debt for the troubles they have hidden away. You may ask. The death of a god is a calamity. You are living in the aftermath of one such death. Surely you can understand. He deserved better. Of all the other gods, he was the only one who acted, who held to his convictions. Yes. I admired him for that. Whatever he was to me, it was not meant to last. Always our duty is to Eora first. I knew he opposed what I intended, that he would wish to preserve what I meant to destroy. I knew it would cause a rift that might never be mended. But I never imagined he'd go so far. I never imagined it would mean I would never know him as I once did. Because it might cause him to remember. No, mortal. Better that we should exist as we are now. What happened once must never happen again. Bad enough that I am cursed to remember it. You may ask. On the contrary, mortal, their work must continue. Far too much was uncovered while they lay dormant. Those who know too much of the White Forge will be washed clean from Eora, and then the Eyeless shall rest once more. Even if it is as you say, there is nothing that can be done. The Eyeless do not think for themselves. They have only the purpose that is given to them. They do not stop until the purpose is fulfilled. They will not change course now for me or anyone. I am sorry. Only if those they pursue are no longer a threat. The Raid Serens were stopped before they could take the White Forge. In your case, Watcher, you are well beyond that now. And if what you say is true, then the Dyrwood is as well. The interventions of gods seldom work out in anyone's favor. Our touch is too heavy. The world crumbles beneath it. It is why we so often enlist the help of mortals. They execute our wishes with greater care. I have done far too much already. Your determination is commendable, but the eyeless number in the thousands. You will need more than strength or luck. I will give you what aid I can. I bade the eyeless to remain hidden when at rest. They are gathered in the hollow of a great rock, splintered from Ione Brother. It lies in a flooded crater known as Kairon's Scar. Know, too, that they were built to answer the call of their master's hammer. When they hear it strike, they come to its aid. If you were to take that piece of his hammer from here and reshape it in Abaddon's forge into a likeness of the original, you might be able to call them to you. But destroying them would be another matter. I know of one way, but only from the center of the Lion's Den. Only with their master's hammer in your service. If you can do all this, if you can reshape what remains of Abaddon's hammer and bring it inside their lair, I can instruct you there on what you would need to do. And I will see you through when the time comes. You may ask. If you do not, be assured, they will come for you as they did for the Pargrunen. Careful as you approach the lake. When I claimed the Eyeless, I made sure they would not be discovered while they slept. Many of my most devoted followers stand watch there. They will not allow you near. And there is something far worse. Something more fearsome and dangerous than any Eyeless. Let us hope you do not attract its attention.
The Watcher of Cad Nua. I expected you'd find us eventually. I'm a little more surprised to find you're still carrying that abomination around. I imagine Consulhalt is better company without his tongue. I am Lengroth. As was my predecessor, he too lives on in me. We are all, you see, Lengroth. Lengroth knew something Consulhalt did not. The brevity of life should be embraced, not feared. Each generation brings with it renewed strength and saves us from stagnation. When his time came, Lengroth was willing to let go, to leave his memories and body behind. He entrusted the gift of his life force, his vibrant spirit, to a worthy successor. Consulhalt clung to his pathetic existence like a leech. And there are others like him, who would see all the world serve as kindling, if only their flame can go on burning. Consulhalt's knowledge cannot outlive him. More than that, to ensure it could never be replicated. You yourself could easily have become the latest tool in Consulhalt's efforts to thwart the wheel, and place himself beyond the reach of time. He would have used your very essence for fuel. A lesser death than you deserve, I think. But you made it out. In truth, I am glad you came. It saves me the effort of chasing you. Think on it. You must have seen how desperately Kith cling to their lives. What measures they're willing to take to ensure theirs is the consciousness that lingers longest. The phylactery was to be Consulhalt's great triumph over death. All the evil that Kith have done in search of falsehoods would pale in the face of what they will do for the truth. It only takes one. And for killing him, at least, I do thank you. But you should not have interfered. Commander Balarin would have brought me the phylactery. All of this could have been avoided. Discretion. It would hardly have been ideal to fly in atop Gavanerkos and get the attention of every dragon hunter in the region. I'd heard the bannermen were competent. It turns out that you're more competent. These two? They're quite young, but already appallingly bright. There's no greater aim than to leave behind a lasting legacy, to teach those who will learn.
Lengroth's teachings are interesting. We will strengthen our souls as they do. Morgeth will be our home for eons.
It's not as if you'll understand for very long, but as you wish. Intruders, mostly. How pleasant it would be to live in a world where nothing unfortunate ever happened to those who didn't deserve it, don't you think?
That would be dreadful.
His memories, his awareness, those died with him. But his power remains. As a watcher, you must have seen by now that certain spirits possess more strength than others. His knowledge we secure in the usual way. It is my hope that we will someday spread Lengroth's teachings beyond our numbers.
Your books are too small to read. Better to learn it in song.
A great deal of study, and a little magic. Once a suitable candidate has been selected, their predecessor gives up his life and essence, and the soul is transferred. I studied for many years and was selected, but at any step I might have turned away, buried myself in common living. My choice was to stay.
No singing.
Not at all. The energy of souls is a natural force all around us. Every being leaves traces of their passing, even as their essence finds root in new soil. We accept that the cycle exists, and that death will come. It is what we leave behind that matters. A life bettered by our efforts. No, not at all. Oh, he and the original Lengroth were distantly aware of each other, I'm sure, being masters in their field. I learned of his obsessions too late. Perhaps if we'd been on better terms, I could have convinced him to reconsider. Too late in any case. Why? Because it's quiet, out of the way. The local wildlife keeps out the rabble. I've never minded being out in the open air, but some of the apprentices found it difficult at first. But a bright young mind that can't survive contact with blood and dirt will fare very poorly in this world. A curious mind is a gift. Perhaps your soul will retain that quality. We could simply take it from you. After. That would be a pity.
We are not frightened of this one.
Better luck on the next turn of the wheel, my friend. I'm sure you'll be remembered.
I've never eaten a watcher before.